has been one of the things that I've wanted to keep up with because it's going to really tell how far we've come. Grand Theft Auto is a series that literally built its entire backbone was built upon being foul and offending fucking everybody of every race and sexuality. That was the cool thing about it, actually. It was like Rockstar didn't seem to care about that sort of stuff. And they would like do whatever they wanted. If it was offensive, it was like, whatever, fine. And it's been a while since we got a new Grand Theft Auto. It's been a minute. So what I'd ask, and you probably seen old videos of me, that's how long the recent Grand Theft Auto has been out, because I would talk about the next Grand Theft Auto fucking 3-4 years ago. And I'm like, considering that the direction that the West seems to be going with this social justice bullshit, would Rockstar dare to make stuff like they had made in the past? Or would they alter to become more modernized? And that's the question. Maybe, just maybe, we have an example of that as far as what it is that they would do. How Grand Theft Auto, so read from CBR, how Grand Theft Auto 5's next gen release addresses the series' transphobic past. Now I read that headline and I was like, oh shit. Rockstar's removal of transphobic jokes with the latest GTA 5 is a move that some see as an attempt to make amends with a problematic past. I tell you what, if you remove basically a situation where certain aspects of the culture are off limits to be made fun of, you are no longer Grand Theft Auto. It's what made your fucking series, bro. So let's read what happened. And what could be an attempt to make amends for its bigoted past. Remember, this is CBR. This isn't like one of us writing it. Rockstar has removed some transphobic content in the recently released PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X/S ports of Grand Theft Auto 5. While Rockstar has yet to make any public comments on the matter, fans were quick to point out the absence of several jokes in the next-gen release made at the expense of transgender people. These jokes have been criticized by players in the LGBTQ plus community ever since the game's 2013 release. I'm willing to bet a lot of y'all reading this or watching me read it have literally never heard anybody bitch about that. Now, there is that minority group of people that are going to bitch about anything just to be, every time new Grand Theft Auto came out, there was that sector of people who were, more Puritan, and they didn't like that it was being released. This game causes violence and all those type of stuff. You remember hearing those, but this idea, it's a fake problem is more so what it is. It's like they had conjured up this problem that isn't actually real, and now they're saying that it's one, right? Grand Theft Auto's portrayal of transgender individuals has long been a stain on the popular gaming franchise. No, it hasn't. Its numerous trans or cross-dressing characters heavily rely on outdated offensive stereotypes. That's the point. And this is what gets me about. Now I'll give you my thoughts about this because I'm about to probably offend a lot of people, but that's fine with me. I'll get to that after I read some more of this. Its numerous trans or cross-dressing, I just read that. While small, the removal of some of this content represents a step in the right direction. Given the franchise's massive popularity and influence, Rockstar's actions carry weight and may set the precedent for how it is perhaps other companies will handle such material in the future. I don't give a fuck. This shit's funny. The changes in GTA 5's next-gen release include the removal of several NPCs from outside the nightclub Cockatoos. These characters, which players noticed were called drag queens in the game's director mode, but tagged as transvestites within the PC's version of the files, made comments to the player or NPCs about using horbos. What's the problem? These NPCs added little to the game. Most of it adds little to. It's about the atmosphere and like kind of goofiness that it creates. You idiot. other than existed to perpetuate surface level stereotypes about transgenders. That's stereotypes about, hell, the fucking entire fucking San Andreas was basically made on a fucking black stereotype. So, but I don't, hell, for a lot of people, it was like our favorite fucking Grand Theft Auto. Nobody's bitching and moaning about that shit. The other change involves an action figure in GTA Online's arcade. The toy, previously Captain Spaceboy Interstellar Transgender, boasted interchangeable genitalia, clearly mocking trans individuals who pursue sex reassignment surgery. The updated game switches it out with less offensively designed toy. Unfucking believable. Throughout the history of GTA, Rockstar's depiction of trans women has typically followed a predictable pattern, with broad, muscular body types, prominent chest hair, angular facial structures, deep voices, poorly done makeup, and revealing feminine clothing. These characters have no identity outside of the stereotype they promote. What's more, their dialogue usually focuses on sex reassignment surgery, hormones, sex, and their attempts to deceive others. So they're all right. I'm done reading the dog shit article, but I will say this. The pride movement, which is what y'all like to refer to it as, is a fake movement. It's a movement of people that don't actually have pride in what it is that they are. This is why they jiggle and gyrate on the street. And they look at that as a form of pride. Their form of pride is being so obnoxious. And it's funny, like, we see that, right? So what is considered like a meme or an offensive joke is how a lot of y'all operate. I mean, have you seen some of these pride parades? Jiggling, gyrating, doing all this goofy shit. But that's for the attention, right? It's, hey, we need you to validate me. Validate us. That's the whole fucking movement. Now, it's not the only social justice-based movement that's based upon that. You don't actually care, like, you don't actually have some sense of belonging and self-awareness, or rather fucking confidence in who it is that you are, esteem, because you're looking to validation from external people. But here's the thing. It's that with this GTA stuff, notice how this person's mentioning the offensiveness when it comes to that community. See, if you cared about what they say equality and equity, right? Nonsense terms. But if anything, you wouldn't want to be the one excluded. So essentially what this article is presenting it as is like, well, it's fun. GTA has made fun of everybody. And it's okay for them to do that. It's okay to stereotype every other race, types of people, ethnic background, from black people to fucking Italians. But you better leave them transgender folk alone. You want special preference is what it is you want. You don't want this sort of opportunity in a sense where all of you all are part of this shit. And that's what made GTA what it is. And again, if GTA is going this direction, it's no longer GTA. At all. So I'll tell you what. Go right ahead, GTA. Make your next game, remove all that shit, and just make fun of the more acceptable people, right? That it is to make fun of. And watch you destroy your fucking franchise because you've built it upon doing the exact opposite. GTA used to be the company that used to double down on this type of shit. GTA 3 or whatever comes out, everybody's fucking losing their goddamn minds, right? Not everybody, but you have that loud minority of Puritan motherfuckers losing their mind. Then they say, fuck it, we're going to make it even more offensive. Now it's like, oh, well, that demographic of people, we got to leave them alone. You're no longer GTA. You just listened to a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake, which is live throughout the week at 12 p.m. Central on youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. Be sure to check out my website, ericdjuly.com, so you can stay up to date with everything it is that I'm doing. You can also become a member and get access to a bunch of cool perks and exclusive content, which includes a social media hub where you can interact with myself and other members. It even has an app that you can get, which is now live in the Google and Apple stores.